Okay, you guys, so in section 12.2, we're going to be studying translations. And a translation is just a slide. Have you heard about slide? When you translate, you just slide the figure? In 8th grade, when you were studying translations in 8th grade? So a translation is just sliding the figure. So that is what is happening here. See, this figure here is slided in this vector. So that means that this point is coming to this point, this one to this one, this one to this one. And if you measure from this point to this point, that should be in that direction, coming in this way. Okay, so you're coming in that way. So this is not a translation. This is more like a what? It's a rotation, so it's coming this way, okay? So a translation is a transformation along a vector such that each segment joining a point and its image has the same length, that is a vector, as the vector and is parallel to the vector. So in problem number 1, is that an example of a translation? Yes, and the vector is going in that direction. See, all of this is going in that direction. Okay, so it's going in that direction. So that's a vector. So yes, that is a translation. What about number 2? No, this is not a translation. Number 3, we're going to go ahead and construct that. So with the ruler, go ahead and get the ruler. I'm going to get my ruler over here. You're not able to see the ruler, those who are watching this video. But you get the ruler, and you're going to measure, it's better to use centimeters. Measure the vector. So how many centimeters is that vector? How many centimeters is vector W, guys? It's 2, right? So from each one of the points of the vertices, these 3 points, get the ruler and have it parallel to that vector, okay, in the same direction, and then plot a point. So get the ruler in the same direction and then plot a point. So get the ruler from the second point in the same direction and then plot a point. Same thing with the third vertex. The ruler has to be parallel to that vector. So more or less move it so that it's parallel and is measuring the same, which is 2 centimeters. And then connect the points. And you should have a figure translated 2 centimeters in the same direction. Okay, were you able to construct that? Let me check around. So from each one of the vertices, I have to go in the same vector direction, and then I put a point. So and it has to be parallel to the vector. And then once I do that, I can connect those points. Like this. So once you get the measurement, you go in that direction. It's a little hard to draw it on the iPad, but seems like that's pretty good. Any questions about how to translate? So just from each one of the vertices, get the ruler, measure, and measure in the direction of the vector, okay? Now, the second part. Now, what about if you have points? When you have points, let me move this way, out of the way. Okay. When you have points, what we need to do, guys, is the following. The vector, it's on a point form. And in most books, they use this notation, like the parentheses, but kind of like in an arrow form. So this is the vector. This is the symbol of a vector. So what this is telling me is that I'm going to add a number to the x-coordinate if I translate it horizontally, which is to the left or to the right. If I translate it horizontal translation, it says horizontal translation along the vector. Well, this is more like a vertical translation because it's going up and down. From here, you're adding something to the y, so it goes up or it goes down. And then the last one, when you do a translation along the vector AB, well, you just add a number to the x, and then you add a number to the y. So in problem number 5, they give me the vector 0, 3. So I need to add 3 to every single one of the y coordinates, okay? So on problem 5, E prime should be 0 plus negative 2 is just negative 2. Negative 4 plus 3 is, what is negative 4 plus 3? Negative 1. Negative 1. What about F prime? Well, let's add 0 to the 3 is just 3, and 3 added to the 0, that would be 3. Now G prime, I'm going to go ahead and add 0 to the 3, that would be 3, and I add 3 to the negative 4, and that is negative 1. Perfect. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot the points, the prime notations in red, so it's negative 2, negative 1. F prime is 3, 3.
Do we have to plot the original points also?
Yes, I'm going to do that in blue. That's a good point. So it's 3, negative 1. And I'm going to connect, so with a ruler, it's better to use a ruler. Connect those points. And then I'm going to plot the points, the original points, which is negative 2, negative 4, negative 2, negative 4. And then it's, yeah, just give me a minute, hold on. So it's 3, 0. That's F. And G is 3, negative 4. So when you connect those points, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different color here so that I can indicate, in this case, you have your highlighter. So what you're doing is just moving the units 3 units up, because that's what this is. You just move the points 3 units up. And there you have the original points, which is the ones in blue, your prime notations, and in green, you're putting your vector, which means that it's going 3 units up. Okay? So let's continue with problem number 6. In problem number 6, we first need to plot the points. So let's plot the points. Once you plot the points, now we need to get the points translated. In this case, it's 4 units to the right, 1 unit up. So we need to add 4 to the x coordinates and 1 to the y coordinates. So let's go ahead and do that. So in P prime, I'm adding 4 to the negative 4, and that is 0. I'm adding 1 to the negative 1, and that is 0. For the Q prime, I'm adding 4 to the negative 1, and that is 3. 1 to the 3, and that is 4. And for R prime, I'm adding 4 to the 0, and that is 4. And 1 to the negative 4, so that is negative 3. Please make sure you list your prime notation points, because that's what I'm going to be checking. That's part of the work that you have to show. Now let's plot the points. 0, 0, and that is P prime. Label your points, please. Then it's 3, 4. Plot the point, and then label it, Q prime. And then it's 4, negative 3. And label your point. Then you can go ahead and connect the points. And with a different color or the highlighter, go ahead and connect the points. So it's 4 to the right. If you notice here, P, move 4 to the right and then 1 up. Q, 4 to the right, 1 up. R, 4 to the right and then 1 up. So with the highlighter, I'm going to connect P to P prime, and I put an arrowhead, Q to Q prime, and R to R prime. With that, you're showing the vector, you're showing the original, and you're showing also the transformation. Okay? Now let's work in number 7. Go ahead and do number 7 and number 8, and then we're going to go ahead and check the answers. Okay, so try 7 and 8, please. Okay, in problem number 7, you're supposed to plot A, B, and C, the original points, and then get your transformation points using the vector negative 5, 3. So negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. 3 plus negative 2 is 1. And then the second point B, negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. And 3 plus 0 is 3. For point C, 3 and negative 5 is negative 2. 1 and 3 it's 4. Once you get your coordinate points, plot the points, and this is what you have, A, B, C. And then at the end, just make sure you mark your vector. So the vector is supposed to be negative 5, which means that you move to the left 5 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up 3. 1, 2, 3. Same thing with B. You move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is 1, 2, 3. And C is the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left, and then 3 up. So as you trace those vectors, that vector is supposed to go like this. And there you have number 7. So now let's check number 8. Okay, so in problem number 8, the original points are G, H, J. The coordinate points for G prime, negative 1 and negative 3 is negative 4. Negative 6 and 4 is negative 2. For H prime is negative 1 and 4 is 3. Negative 6 and 3 is negative 3. J prime, negative 1 and 1 is 0. Negative 6 and 2 is negative 4. When you plot the points, these are the points. And then you vector, which is negative 1, 6. 1 to the left, 6 down. 1 to the left, 6 down. 1 to the left, 6 down. And you mark those with highlighter if you want, or with another color pencil. Okay, you guys, so please work on the assignment. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.